Hello and welcome, my beautiful yet antiquated sunsets. It's SJB here, and of course we've got some more chimps for you guys. I'm going to start off strong. I'm going to start off with a banger here. We are going to be using Geraldo, and we're going to be using glue gunners to hopefully combine together into a way that we can pop all the Bloons. One of the major weaknesses to a Geraldo starter on any advanced map is his ability to pop Bloons before we can buy anything else. So we need to save up enough money to afford this guy, otherwise this map is worthless. And the problem is I'm picking some of the easiest maps before I am forced to go to balance. I hope that we don't need to do that, but it's definitely looking like a muddy possibility here. So are there any intermediate maps? Did I say advanced? Intermediate maps that Geraldo can do a start with? It does not seem like there is. And that, upsettingly, brings us down to the one and the only. The only map that we can even do a Geraldo start on chimps with, while also cheating to steal extra money with our original starting chimps money. So, like, we have to cheat on top of playing a specific map, on top of having to somehow get glue gunners to pop everything here. And I'm just going to be straight with you guys. I think this is going to be absolute and utter chaos. And I think that we are going to fail way earlier than we want to. But of course, that is not a guarantee. We've still got time. We've got things to do. We can make some plays. So let's just see what we can do together, my friends. Possibly the craziest thing about this glue strategy is actually designing your setup and everything right from the get-go, because you have to think, how am I going to do this long term? And the problem with glue is not that glue is really that bad, but glue does not work well with other glues, is the major chaos for us. Once we glue something, if we put different glue on it, the other glue's gone. It's not like it stacks on top of itself to form like this super mega amazing glue that like turns amazing. So basically by getting one glue gunner, you're counteracting another glue gunner. And that makes things even more difficult and obviously sucktastic for us. So I'll be honest, we're going to be relying on Geraldo a lot today. Geraldo is a pretty good tower, but he's not all-powerful either. He can and will lose as a solo chimps game, especially on a map like this. It's not easy. But that doesn't mean we don't have a plan. All right, we've got a plan. 2 glue gunners. That is probably all the glue gunners we are going to build. That seems wild. And even if we have infinite money after that, I don't think I even want to build my 3rd glue gunner. I've realized over time that it actually makes things worse. So the plan is to get this guy up to a top path glue gunner. Bloon Dissolver. We don't have cam protection yet. Now we do. Yeah, that's another big problem. Geraldo has to be the majority of our cam detection for almost all of this game as well. So yeah, that just add a new factor of ridiculousness into this entire game mode right now, man. It's absurd. Everything about it, just absurd. All right, we got Bloon Dissolver. So, because we're planning ahead and we have to plan for late game, we have to decide, well, what do we want to do with this guy? Obviously, we've planned on getting a top path, Bloon Dissolver. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. But then what do we do? Glue Splatter or Stronger Glue? Well, if we're playing long-term and actually trying to be the better player, the stronger play to do is the stickier glue and the stronger glue, okay? This is going to hurt us for a little while because, basically, we're not going for very many Bloons right now. The glue is not doing a very gluey job, I suppose you could say. And even when you get this $5,400 thing, same thing. Really not doing very much gluing. All right, especially when you get to a lot of Bloons coming out at once. So it's definitely hurting ourselves when we're at 3rd tier and 4th tier. But once we get to a 5th tier, we get so much Pierce that it really doesn't matter that much. We glue enough Bloons that you can still make this worthwhile. But I think we're better off with the stronger glue, slowing the Bloons down more, and just overall doing more damage to them. Now, in addition to that, well, we also have to make sure that we're keeping up with Geraldo's turrets and everything, so we have to be kind of smart about how we do these things. Got to spend all of my money. The MOAB's probably going to be the trickiest part for us in its entirety, so we might have to use some sort of Blade Maelstrom or something like that just to stay alive. But I will be trying to go for another glue gunner over here that'll hopefully help us out in the long term. Now, I told you guys middle path, probably not worth it. Even a glue storm, just like the problem is once you use a glue storm, you take away all the other glue, and it makes it kind of actually suck. So the other glue gunner's obviously got to be a super glue. We can do relentless glue before that, but the super glue is the main thing we need to do with that guy. But for round 40, we can likely afford the MOAB glue. All right, now this is where it also gets tricky, because you might want to go bigger globs and glue splatter here. That would affect more MOABs, but if we're going all the way up to a 5th tier, I think I might want to go for the glue soak and the corrosive glue, but I'm gonna wait on that. So, because I don't need it right now. I don't need it right now. Even if I hit a couple Bloons, no big dealio. Okay, so far, I mean, it's going okay. It's going okay. Nothing too ridiculous has happened yet. Surprisingly, Glue is actually doing an okay job in popping Bloons, specifically in combination with Geraldo. I haven't even changed their targeting or anything like that. We're just kind of letting them fly. Just be on first, bro. Hit some Bloons. Hopefully do something here. Let Geraldo really do the power for right now. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting my turrets a little bit further away. So once I finally get the good turrets, I can put the good turrets a little bit closer to the center of the map here. I don't know, I got some spot over there, over there, over there, and over here. So I've got a lot of room to work with still, but just want to throw that out there. All right, MOAB Glue is officially here. That means I am going to change this guy to strong. And I think I'm just going to buy the Relentless Glue as well, just so I can glue more things. All right, right now, I don't know how much this is going to affect it. Well, yeah, Relentless Glue's not really going to do very much unless I get Corrosive Glue. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was just pointless. But either which way, we've got a MOAB Glue. That's the main thing. I might have to get a Jerry's Fire here. Not entirely sure. Oh, yeah, this is going to be rough. That MOAB Glue is also making it so I can't use the Bloon Dissolver here on this guy. And that is going to be actually enough popping power. Wow. I am thoroughly impressed. That was a good combo. Okay. All right. Anyways, I don't foresee anything going too crazy here for a little while. I think I might have to get that. I'm gonna do a couple tests in Sandbox really quickly. I will be right back. Okay, I just want to throw this out there really quickly because I don't build super glue all that often. So I've decided to do a quick test here. When I send out 6 MOABs, I hit them all with this thing. Once we change it to 7 MOABs, we cannot hit them all. It takes 2 shots to slow them all down. That means we do 6 pierce, basically, for this thing. If we get the bigger globs and glue splatter, then we can move up to, I believe, 13, getting all hit up in one shot, which is pretty cool, but we cannot do 14. So that is almost doubling our total pierce. If we get really overwhelmed, that would be sweet. But here's the big booty in the room here. If we get a super glue with glue soak and corrosive glue, we still have that 6 pierce. So we can hit 6 we can hit 6 MOABs at the same time. Doesn't really matter that there's 13 right now. But the cool thing is that when we pop these guys out, we can melt and leave things on the ground here. I don't know. It just feels like if I am actually playing late game long term, I think I'm better off going middle path than corrosive glue, even though this thing can do a decent amount of corrosive damage. It just doesn't feel like it's doing enough for me to actually have it make sense. Plus, the splatter does seem to do damage to the Bloons as well, so it's not quite as efficient because we're not corroding them specifically. And we don't leave anything on the ground. I don't know, man. This is a tricky situation to imagine. All right, I can't say for sure, but against round 98, it seems like the middle path glue is going to be better than the corrosive glue, so that's going to be my plan. All right, that's what we're going to try to do. All right, sorry that took me so long to actually set that up, but I wanted to make sure that I got this right. And I don't know if there's a right or a wrong, rather than a different situations, different rounds are going to matter slightly different. I think the cross path, even though it seems so silly to spend so much time on it, if it really comes down to needing 2% more pops in some situation, that could really cost us the game. All it takes is one stupid Bloon to sneak through, man, and that 1%, 2%, it makes a big difference in stupid situations that normally it probably shouldn't. Again, we are having some issues with glue not being very helpful here in all the situations that we might want it to. The good news is it does slow it down long enough that it does wear off. Hopefully that doesn't happen too long here. And oh my god, look at that. Right, good news. So we are on HIMPS right now. So when I make a mistake, we are lucky that we are able to just press that restart button and retry that round. Now, once it comes down to abilities and or mistakes that we made a round or 2 ago, that completely changes the game. Just do a restart. You screwed up. It sucks, but it's just the way it has to be. One weird thing about Geraldo, and specifically his camo potions, is he basically gets 1 camo potion in the amount of rounds that it takes to earn a camo potion. So for the entirety of the first, I don't know, like 80 rounds or so, we can only really camo potion Geraldo, unless we get to some sort of weird emergency situation where possibly it might be better off for us to put camera protection on like the Bloons solver or something like that. Now we're losing. All right, this is already, I don't want to call it chaos and sucktastic, but we're already losing. So let's build another turret here. I'm going to move this guy to strong instead of first. Maybe that'll help us a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tricky here. It's definitely very, very close. Look at this. Oh, 2 blue balloons. Dang. So the good news about Geraldo is there's very many ways to play around with him. You know, just kind of like mess around with his popping power and his pierce and everything, and like see what are the best ways to actually make them work for you. I added my turret back, and all I did was I put the strength potion on Geraldo, and it does seem to help out quite a bit. So in most situations, whenever I'm running into any issues, I spend 110 bucks, and I almost solve those issues. Specifically until I get the Bloons solver. And when I get the Bloons solver, oh boy, I don't know, man. This is looking terrible already. All right, I'm just doing it. You know, money's not going to be that big of a deal long term, so once I get these 2 guys going, like, that's it. I don't really need money for anything else. I can just buy a couple extra turrets and maybe like a genie or something like that, but like money is not going to be all that scarce late game. Of course, I want to get my 5th tiers going as fast as possible, so I want to try to save money instead of just wasting it, but I shouldn't be too crazy about specifically being like, saving money is the most important thing in the entire world, like in some runs. So, that being said, basically, I'm going to throw down whatever I can whenever I need to kind of make things go smoothly. And in this situation, I think 1 Jerry's Fire seems to be saving the day. It's only 500 bucks. Now, I don't get it back ever. It's only last 10 rounds, so it's like a wasted set of $500, which I never like to do in a tower defense game, but it's going to help us survive and help us get that 5th tier within a reasonable amount of time. That means it's the correct and almost only play for us at this point in the game. All right, so right now, I could afford a bunny. I could afford a turret. I am going to say, nuh-uh, I don't want any of that action yet because we're so close to a Bloons solver. But I think after that, I will probably start getting my bunnies ready and everything because the next big boy is going to be our super glue. That's just too expensive for us to afford. Now, I don't know if I'd mentioned the positioning of this super glue here. It might look a little bit funky. Like, why would you put it there, Chris? But to me, it makes sense. And here's the reason why. I think most of the big balloons come out over on this side. So if we're dealing with a Oh My God or a bunch of Oh My Gods or a big chunk of BFBs or something like that, what I want to have happen is I want the balloons to come in this side. We get rid of these guys as soon as we possibly can. This guy stalls for as long as he possibly can. And then after that, then this side of the balloons start coming in and overwhelming us a little bit. And if that goes the way that I hope it does, oh my god, more camo balloons, bro. All right, we're going to try doing something funky. We're going to try with the Bloons solver and just hope that the Bloons solver is going to be all the camo protection we need for at least 10 rounds, I guess. That shouldn't be too bad, right? Hopefully. I don't think so. All right, it's bunny time. So you need 4, if I'm not mistaken, 4 bunnies to get our super bunny going. That's going to be a bunch of extra ceramic popping power, but not a bunch of MOAB popping power, which is sadly still one of our biggest issues. But once we get the super glue, things can change quite a bit. Anyways, I think glue is kind of boring, actually. You know, it's like there's only so much you can say about like what your plan is and kind of how things are going until you just have to realize that you need to say, wow, I am boring, and maybe I need to start being unboring, start talking about exciting things like telling stories and stuff like that. Good news is 63 is actually going down fairly easily. The problem being this glue is again slowing things down, but not doing any pops right now because it doesn't have that corrosive glue, which means that this glue cannot take over this glue, which means that we're gluing literally nothing against these balloons sometimes. It's kind of upsetting. And that means I really would like to get my super glue as fast as I possibly can, but I think what might save the day is once I get my last bunny here, need 1 more bunny to make this happen, that guy will start popping MOABs a little bit better and give me that time to actually make this all go down properly, hopefully. As you can tell, things are still kind of scary. Like, every single round is like a maybe, maybe, maybe kind of situation. Alright, since we got the bunnies, things are going pretty smooth. And I guess it's about that time for a story. Now, this is a bit of a sad story. I guess, to me at least, it's kind of a sad story. So, just don't want to let you guys down. I beefed you guys up with a nice beanbag story about being the king of kings and all that fun stuff, but the king of kings. Beanbags. Alright. Yeah, sometimes it's easier to live in the past, man. You know, like 15 years ago, you're like, that was a pretty sweet day. You know, and like today, well, today sucks. But at least 15 years ago, I was pretty successful, right? No. Oh, wait, whoa. So the bunny's got automatic cam detection is actually keeping me alive here, kind of, until not really. But sort of, until kind of not really. Okay, so I think our best bet's probably to give the Bloons solver the camera detection again. I don't really see an instance where Geraldo's actually stronger than a Bloons Solver, even with all of his turrets and everything, specifically when we've got round 78 coming up, which is a big chunk of ceramics. So I think that'll actually be like literally perfect for the Bloons Solver. Like that's exactly what he's designed to do, bro. Of course, we could have went with a different cross path that would have even more popping power, or more pierce, but that doesn't really matter too much. So, all right. So we're going to start this story off by saying that this is kind of a story that's like sort of bad about my dad. And, you know, growing up, I definitely did not really like my dad very much. I thought he was a pretty huge, humongous jerk. And I still think, like, to this day, like, I still think he was a pretty big jerk for us growing up. But I will say he has mellowed out a lot as he's gotten older. And I definitely don't feel like he's a huge jerk or anything like that anymore. He's definitely... I'm cool. We're cool now. But one of the biggest, jerkiest things that he ever did, in my opinion, was, I have to preface this by saying that I was like an animal lover. It's like the best thing that I can explain to people. Growing up, everybody used to ask, like, what do you want to do? Why don't you want to be a vet since you like animals so much? And I'm like, well, I don't want to be a vet because you got to hurt the animals to help the animals. You know, like, the animals don't like going to the vet. They don't like you. So I always felt like I don't really want to do that. Anyways, here we go. Super glue time. Whoop. There it is. All right. So hopefully this doesn't end up biting us in the butt. You know, I could totally see some weird issues going on with Bloons Solver and super glue, like, not interacting well still. So we have to hope that this still goes smoothly. Hope. But as of right now, this is not too shabby. Too shabby. All right. It could be shabbier is all I'm really saying right now. All right. It could always be shabbier. Let's be straight with each other. But things are going down. Things are happening, and we do pop them camo balloons. Fantastic. So, I had a lot of pets. I had a lot of pets growing up, little frogs, little lizards, and I used to go animal catching a lot, I suppose. I used to catch a lot of bugs, butterfly catching. I literally used to walk myself to random ponds all around our neighborhood and see what kind of frogs I could catch. And I would never hurt the frogs. I would always catch and release for everything. Sometimes I would catch things, keep them in a tank for like a couple days or weeks or whatever just to watch them, and then I would eventually release them. You could call me a miniature child biologist if you want to, but I just liked looking at them, and I liked the enjoyment of catching them. It was very exciting to catch something, because it was not all that common, believe it or not. Sometimes I even went far enough where I was like crossing big streets and stuff as like somebody who was less than 12 years old, which I realize now is probably not super duper smart for me to do, but I did it anyways. But I was a bit of a lone wolf. I understand why still to this day I'm still like a bit of a lone wolf. I used to just do everything by myself. Sometimes I took my friends, or I would show them like what I used to do out there, just going to the ponds and all that stuff. But anyways, it should be no secret that I liked animals a lot. So I remember my dad was like, all right, you want to see something cool? And I was like, sure, I guess. And then he brought me up to my room, okay? He took out the screen out of my window, and then he brought up his gun, and I was like, oh my god, what are we doing? And he's like, we got to stop a pest. So I was like, okay. And, like, he brought me up there to, like, do this with him, which... I guess to other people this might not be so offensive, because like there's a lot of hunters out there and things like that, and I don't actually hate hunters. I don't think hunting is necessarily a bad thing. I'm still a meat eater and things like that. I wish that animals got to have... I honestly really hope that in the future they have some sort of like really cool technology where you can just grow meat. All right, that is... I really honestly want to do that. As soon as they have like good lab-grown meat, I would do that 1,000,000%. Why would I want animals to suffer in any way, shape, or form if I could just do that? Even if it's like 10% less delicious. Sure, I'll save some animals for 10% less deliciousness. Absolutely. But I also feel like it's not on me if animals are suffering. I really feel like the industry should force companies and things like that to actually take care of these animals. You know, like, why not? Why not? Anyways, that's beside the point, at least for right now. Okay, let's check out what we got going on here with Geraldo. All right, we got one of these puppies. That's good. We are going on to 85 here. We're going to have to start watching the level of Geraldo as well. He's only level 16 right now, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But once he reaches level 20, everything refreshes. So we can specifically kind of time that to our exact point that we want it to be, where we can level up Geraldo right when we need it. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my money on Geraldo's camo detection. Okay, I believe it lasts 15 rounds, so I'm really, really hoping this lasts until, You know what? Actually, I don't want to do that. You know, math is sometimes one of the stupidest things in the entire world. You think 85 to 100, 15 rounds, but you don't include around 100. And if it only lasts 15 rounds, that means it'll last 85 to 99, believe it or not. We will not last around 100. I don't want that to cost us the game. So we're going to wait one more round, and then we're going to buy our cam detection here. In addition, though, we can start buying these guys on the next round as well. I believe those also last 15 rounds. And then we're going to start playing around with Jerry's Fire pretty soon as well, because those do last only 10 rounds, but you can kind of like get some of them going now and start like rebuilding them a little bit, so you can still not like overwhelm yourself too much. Anyways, here we go. Round 86. I'm going to buy the cam detection for Geraldo. We're going to buy some sharpening stone action here, so we're going to sharpen the best turrets that we got. And I'm going to put them more on this side, because I think this is going to be the side where we're going to have to fight more bigger balloons, I guess, probably, specifically with like glue combo situation. So hopefully, I don't know. It doesn't really need to make that much sense. Let's just hope for the best here. So anyways, my dad took out the window, and he took out this thing. He's like, we're going to get this passed. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, check this out. So he took out his gun. It was some sort of rifle. I don't even know what kind of rifle it was, but he stuck it out the window, and he like aimed, and he's like, you see the rabbit? And I was like, yeah, I see the rabbit. And then he shot it and killed it. And I don't know why this is such, like, it's not really a tragic memory necessarily for me. It was just a memory of, like, why would you do that? You know, like, why would you do that to me? Like, specifically have me be there for it. Like, I did not think that was cool. I thought it was very uncool. I was really sad about the rabbit, obviously. Like, what are you thinking, you know? So anyways, it was sort of a sad story for me. I don't really know what, again, I don't really know all the details on why it's so sad to me, but it just is, you know? Like, you see dead rabbits and dead raccoons and stuff, like, all over the place, all the time. And the reasoning behind killing the rabbit, by the way, was the pest was, quote-unquote, eating our daffodils or something like that. I don't remember the plant that it was eating at the time. I think it was our hyacinths. It was like, it's eating our hyacinths, so we gotta get rid of it. And I guess he blamed it on my mom then when he saw that I was not very happy about it. He's like, well, your mom told me we got to get rid of this rabbit pest, so I took care of it. So I get it, you know, I get it. It is what it is, and like I understand that I don't like rabbits as an adult either. I'll be true with you guys. I freaking hate rabbits. They ate all my lilies. I wasted like $30 on those lilies, and they were gone within like 6 months. And the lilies tried to grow back. They actually ate it all the way to the ground, and they tried to grow back. And they just ate the little mini plants as they kind of came up. Here we go. Jerry's Fire time. All right, got one here. We're going to have to put our Jerry's Fire mostly on this camo action here. And we're going to go for another camo potion on our Bloons solver. And DDTs are going to be a big problem. Okay, let's try with just everything set up right from the get-go. See if the Bloons solver being a little bit more camo detecty is going to just kind of like save the day for us. I have no idea how Geraldo's glue works in combination with other glues, because I usually don't do that, but I would assume that it's actually going to be kind of a negative thing here. So we'll kind of have to like wait and see how this is going to go down. Now my plan, to be straight with you guys, is actually working pretty well as far as glue positioning goes. Bloons solver doing his job, killing all the things in the middle of the map, and this guy's actually slowing most of these guys down enough to kind of like let one side die before this guy's going to kind of come in and still let the Bloons solver do his job. So overall, things are going reasonably smooth. I'm not upset with how smooth things are going, but we still have some decent issues to deal with. You know, I mean, there's a lot of random DDTs and stuff coming out soon, so I don't know how that's going to go down for us, but I do have a lot of Genie action available to us and a lot of other random crap that I can kind of just like randomly use. So I'm hoping for the best here. But I do know that if there's anything that's going to kill us, it's going to be around 100. There's just going to be no chance for us to kill around 100, and this super glue, while it's going to help us out the entirety of the game, might be a problem for around 100, because this guy does not affect bad balloons, right? He doesn't slow it down. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means that by the time this guy pops into DDTs and oh my gods, he's all the way in the back of the screen, if we even pop him at all. And by that point, it's too late to solve something. You know, can't clean that puppy up anymore. The only good news we got going for us right now is that we do have a lot of money. Like, if I could spend more things on Geraldo, I totally would. Here we go, round 93, how we doing against DDTs? Surprisingly, we win. I am pretty happy about that. I thought we were going to have to force ourselves to use a Genie already, but I think round 94 here, we're going to be forced to use a Genie, because check this out. Look at this experience. We got to watch this very carefully here. We might not need to use a Genie on 94. We might be able to wait until 95, but if we do that, we could screw... Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to go up to the next level. I believe it. We got to throw down a Genie. Luckily, I have some room in the middle of the map here. Throw it down right now. And this will help us for 94 and 95. And then hopefully by the time we get to level... You know what? I should probably just use 2 Genies. Why not? Money's not an issue. Yeah, just throw it down, bro. Just throw it down. Who cares? Whatevs. Make things easy. 94, nice and easy for us. I think we're going to level up to level 20 here for round 95. But then that only gives us 2 more Genies to beat round 97, 98, 99, and 100. Yeah, those are going to be tough ones. Really, really tough runs. Okay, we did reach level 20. Everything's maxed out. Okay, let's go. Let's get to building. Positioning-wise, we don't have the greatest positioning anymore. We've used up a lot of our good positioning. All right, I'm just building them up here. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And we're going to see with 3 more Jerry's Fires added to the squad. 1, 2, and 3, if this is going to be enough to take down the entirety of round 95. And so far, it is looking pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed, man. Or at least not upset. At the very least. Okay, okay. But that was with 2 Genies. So we gotta kind of keep that in mind. Two Genies, bro. 2 Genies is a big deal for us. All right, round 96, can we do it without a Genie? I kind of need to. If we don't do it without a Genie, I think we're totally screwed. Because I think I'm going to need Genies for round 100. I think I'm going to need 2 Genies for round 100, basically. And I don't know if that's going to be possible either. But, of course, we're going to try. See what happens. We got some Maelstroms here if we really, really need to. But I'd really like to save that for round 98. That seems like such a beefy level that it just, like, it pretty much needs group balloon popping power. But check this out. There's a lot of oh my gods. I got 3 more Sharpening Stones. I guess we'll use those guys. I don't really care which ones they are anymore. Let's just throw it down into random places. All right, slowly getting popped, but they are getting popped. Bloon Solver's kind of just doing his job. MOAB Slowdown actually also doing its job, surprisingly. MOAB Slowdown with a bunch of Jerry's Fires is good. And then we're cleaning up with Solver. It's like, good timing, bro. Good timing. All right, again, working out perfectly. We're slowing this puppy down while this guy gets popped, basically. Get into the middle of the map, get this guy destroyed, and then we'll swap over to this guy and finish him off as well. All right, 2 Genies. We got 2 Camo Potions as well. I think it's probably worth it for us to Camo Potion this guy. And if for some reason one of these guys wears off, we got an extra Camo Potion for them. But otherwise, everybody's Camo detected. Which is pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. All right, a bunch of Bloons in the middle here. First one does get taken down. If the first one gets taken down, I'm usually not afraid of the second one. Ooh, hot diggity dog. It's actually happening here. It's actually happening. Oh, my goodness. Round 98. Oh. Okay, so we could do weird things like throwing glue down in like the corner here or something like that, but I'm going to not do that at all. One other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to see, since I have continues allowed, I know that this takes a lot of stress away from me, but it also, like, makes the game slightly... I don't know what to say it. Like there's no pressure on anybody. It's just chill, right? And it sucks because it is very, very chill to have continues on, but if we lose, we just restart. You know, no big deal. Like, I'm not afraid at all, but believe it or not, things look like they're actually going down pretty well. If we're going to get overwhelmed, it's going to be like right now, though. I don't think the Oh My Gods are going to overwhelm us. And it looks like things are actually going down. No Maelstroms required, baby! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is crazy. All right, we still got some more to go, though. Said I didn't think the Oh My Gods were to sneak through, but it doesn't mean they can't sneak through. And there it is. Unbelievable. All right, we can go double Genies now on 99 because they'll last through round 100. We get another Jerry's Fire here. We're just going to throw it down randomly on one of these guys. And 99 should go down easy. Now the question is, can we take down the bad balloon? That's a great question, man. I don't know. Another Jerry's Fire. Let's throw it down on this guy. Let's see what he does. I think he's going to do pops to the bad. Probably not that many. You can see we're already doing... Oh, dang. Yeah, very little poppage, but poppage nonetheless. So yeah, he's doing something to the bad. It's not a bunch. We'll maybe do a couple thousand total damage. We're really relying on a lot of Jerry's Fires and things like that. Is there anything else we can do, though? Well, we have the option available to us. We can go for the stronger Strength Potion here. I think it helps with all the Jerry's Fires and everything, but I actually don't know for sure. It's probably very, very close on the popping power, though. We can definitely use 10 sets of spikes. That'll help us out a little bit. We can use the 3 Maelstroms. So I was kind of hoping to use the 3 Maelstroms on the DDTs / Oh My Gods. Just kind of like get some explosion damage going here with that. And here we go. 3 Maelstroms. 1, 2, and finish it off with a 3rd Maelstrom. No way! We did it! And unbelievably on our first try. Geraldo, dude, you're so freaking good. You're so freaking good, man. It's almost absurd. But we did have a very well-designed, well-made strategy that just worked out well for us. So, bam. Now, if you guys enjoyed this wonderful video, make sure you press that like button for me. If you haven't subscribed yet, oh my god, what are you doing? Get on that button right now. Slam it. No, be nice to it. Caress it. And then, of course, I wish you guys the best of days.